Welcome back to H-Hour. If you are, this is being recorded, obviously recorded live. It's been streamed live to Platinum patrons. The questions you're about to hear me ask the guest have been submitted by Platinum patrons. If you would like to submit questions for future guests and get access to the live stream to watch the episodes being recorded live, become, you guessed it, a Platinum patron. Go to substack.ukia.com or patreon.com/HK podcasts. The links are in the blurb. Sign up, become a Platinum patron, and you will be able to do this for future guests. You'll also be able to recommend guests, and you'll also be able to jump on the occasional Zoom call with past guests for exclusive Q&As, of which Chris is going to join one of those, aren't you, Chris? Yes, you are. Yes, Chris is going to do one. Yes. So, excellent. Let's get into the icebreaker with Chris Shirley. Chris, welcome back to H-Hour, my friend. It has been a long time coming.
I mean, it really has. A few things have happened since we...
A few things have happened. A few things have happened.
We can unpack those.
Okay. Let's get the questions up 1 second. First, cool. Hang on, we've got main pod questions here. Hang on a minute. We've got a variety. Right. Okay, question 1 from Coke. These are in random order of topic, right? 1 part A. Did Marines perform much better in combat compared to other infantry? What are you laughing at?
So the question is, do Marines perform better in combat than other forms of infantry?
Yes.
Are you able to ask them questions? Can they say what kind of combat? Is it like...
No.
Just general combat?
This has been submitted like yesterday.
Okay. So, well...
in combat, yeah. But he's asking, are Marines better warfighters, basically, than other infantry?
Such a contentious question, because one of the core values is humility. So I've got to find a way to say it diplomatically without.
Just say it.
Okay, so Marines have a higher standard of fitness when it comes to, obviously, close combat and training. They get a bit more investment in, much like the parachute regiment, get more investment into equipment, deployment, training, bigger budgets, as far as I understand. So you could assert from that Marines are better. I'm trying to make it scientific.
Stop being diplomatic.
Okay. I mean, the Marines certainly attracted me over your regular generic line infantry. So yes, I'm gonna go out on a personal one and say yes.
Yes. Okay. Jesus. This isn't the House of Commons, right?
Yeah, you can tell he's an officer. He dances around the topic before even confronting it.
Okay. If yes, this is the part B. If yes, is there a moral obligation to ensure other infantry units are trained to Royal Marine standards so that they're less at risk in combat?
That's a complex one, isn't it? Because... Is there a moral obligation? Well, clearly, if you're suggesting there's a Marines are used or elite infantry are used for other jobs, other tasks than your general infantry, then no, I guess not, because your general infantry aren't going to be used for those specialist infantry roles. So I'd say not. Unless I've misinterpreted the question, but
yeah, I think you misinterpreted. Okay, so he's basically saying, is there a moral obligation to bring other units up to the same standard as Royal Marines to ensure they're less at risk during war?
No, because they're not going to be used for the same things. So Marines like parachute regiment are specialised infantry specialised for a certain demands of a certain role. So therefore, there's no moral obligation to bring the infantry up to the standard of the Royal Marines because they've got different focuses and different tasks.
Okay, good answer. We've got, okay, so this is part of part B as well. James Williams, ex-Marine, who is an ex-Marine and SRR, said on Ryan Forrest's YouTube stream, apparently Taliban would see a marked difference in the combat fighting capabilities when the Marines and the Paras were there compared to the wider army. I'm aware of that. Are you aware of that? It's from ICOM chatter, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't serve in Afghanistan, so I can only go off, obviously, what I know from other people. But incidentally, I think James Williams was in the Commander documentary, which was one of the inspirations that got me into join the Corps instantly. I remember he's got a line that he goes, the ethos of the commandos. So yeah, I'm aware of him.
So he said apparently that he heard there's a quote from ICOM, the Taliban chatter, saying the Marines are here now, so let's switch on, or the equivalent in Pashtun.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I think the IRA used to do the same thing as well. They noticed a marked difference in when Marines or paras were there versus your general infantry. So.
Okay, question 2 from Coke. Do you and most Marines lack respect for Bear Grylls and his military record? He heard an ex-Marine say most Marines don't have time for him. And the part... We'll come on to the part B in a minute because it references me, but go on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
No, I think you could generalize. I mean, right now there's like between 4,000 and 6,000 serving Marines. There's like, tens of thousands ex-Marines. So if you were generalizing across the whole corps, it'd be very hard to, you have to have a very confident, guesstimate that was what the whole corps thought. I don't think it is, no, because obviously Bear was he was obviously 2-1 SAS. They've got a very different selection process, which is long and difficult. The corps has got a very different, selection process and different focus. No, I don't think it's fair to say that. And also, Bear is an honorary colonel in the Marines. So I've worked with Bear a few times, and yeah, I think he's a nice bloke.
You've worked with Bear, have you?
Yeah.
Coke doesn't care, mate. Coke throws his like he throws his he doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care about awkwardness.
He's trying to throw the curveballs at the. I know, yeah.
It's horrendous. Normally, it's me being targeted. Like for example, question 2 part B is when I asked Hugh. Apparently, I said he wasn't a good soldier who deployed. Oh no! He asked me, so he wasn't a good soldier who deployed, and I said no, but he serves a purpose, I suppose. I saw this question ahead of time, and I had a conversation with Cook about this. I didn't say this, right? So I don't know what Bear Grylls has done operationally. I don't know. I've got no idea. So I couldn't comment on it.
I mean, he broke his back in Africa, parachuting. Did I say skydiving? Parachuting. I don't know if it is on operations or if it's training, but it's
okay. Yeah. No, so I don't know what his deployment record is. So I can't comment on it.
Yeah.
All right. Moving swiftly on.
Bring me another curveball.
All right. Part C. Oh, hang on. This is another part of the same thing. Chris Ryan has criticised Bear, claiming he lied about his service. I never heard that. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't heard that either.
Oh, okay. Moving swiftly on. All right. We got more questions here. So these are from David, the podcast editor.
Okay.
Whose black magic camera you were admiring earlier on.
It's
This is a nice big kit. Yeah. I'm amazed I haven't broken it yet. All right. So question 1 from David. The UK is rolling out digital ID for veterans. Mm-hmm. What's your take on it? Is it a useful innovation, or is it something that raises concerns about privacy and purpose?
Ooh, good question. I mean, we're not the first country to bring up digital IDs. Obviously, Estonia being the classic example, they've had digital IDs for 20 years now.
Oh, just context on this. You live in Estonia, so you understand it there. Right, okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind me just doxing you.
No, that's not cool, yeah. Is it well, I think, anything digital these days does pose a risk. I mean, more so than like a physical ID card. It'd be kind of hard to quantify, like what's the riskier thing, carrying around a physical ID card, which can then be doctored. If you lost it, it can be doctored. It then becomes a data loss incident versus cybersecurity in the age of AI is like a much bigger, thornier beast to tackle. So I don't think we can really compare the two. They're like apples and pears, aren't they? I didn't know enough about cybersecurity to go down that line and say which will be better or which will be more riskier.
Well, I spoke quite a bit on this on the last podcast with Adnan Sawar. It was a similar question asked there, But so I won't go back over why I'm very much against it. But since then, I found out that on that cyber security front, even at the development level, there's problems. So they have the contractor that they have used to develop the first, because it's not even in beta. It's out. It's in production now, right?
Yeah.
It's live now, right? Was the contractors in Romania. So, and it was farmed out to there, and the history of the contractor is not great from a security perspective. And I mean, I think how they decided on that when they went through the procurement process, that this kind of thing, I think this would have to be done like on-prem UK mainland development. The minimal risk of data access issues, and basic security considerations would tell me that okay, I'd rather spend more money on development mainland UK involving very not shipping it off elsewhere, as opposed to paying less and cheaper for overseas contractors.
I guess it depends on which element of it was done, but I'm thinking Romania is a NATO country, an EU country as well, so there'll be a due diligence checks obviously from mod before it can get outsourced to that. I know. There's such a long, stringent process to it that it can just be kind of like given out willy nilly, because there's obviously all kinds of security implications around that. I'm sure there's some thought gone into it, because
Oh, probably.
And checking, and due diligence, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, question number 2. With the ongoing review of historic Special Forces actions, how do you think that impacts the morale and mental health of those who served under high-stakes conditions? On that note, at the point of recording this, Soldier F has just had his case. He's been found not guilty in court, hasn't he, for the Northern Ireland allegations, which was yesterday morning, I think. So how do you think it impacts morale and mental health of those who've served under high stakes conditions?
I mean, there's definitely two elements to it, isn't there? There's the kind of what we call the Eye of Sauron on you, isn't there? If you're always operating, wondering if you're going to be brought up in the dock, that's going to have an effect on you. But then also, obviously, when you're deployed on operations, you obviously got to work under the Geneva Convention, and there's always that, always that understanding that you deploy and you operate, with kind of high ethical standards, isn't there? So, I mean, undoubtedly, it will have an impact on, we've got mates in SF. It will definitely have an effect, and I guess it's just down to the leadership to make sure that operations are conducted, in line with, UK policy, Geneva Convention, all that sort of stuff, as it is. I think we're probably becoming more aware of it these days. Given obviously the things like Soldier F trial in the media, and it's more things get put into the public space than I think ever before. Especially pre-Iraq and pre-Afghan era. It was obviously Falklands and Northern Ireland, and we're now in like a new era where everyone can be an expert witness, and everyone can give evidence because they've got a phone in their pocket and they can transmit information quickly and with agility.
Okay, question 3 from David again. You've taken on everything from ocean rows to ultra marathons. When things get mentally tough, what do you lean on to stay focused and keep going?
Oh, good question.
Let's pull that mic in to you a bit.
Okay, sure.
Pull it to you. You relax and pull it to you. There you go.
Good question. I don't think there's anything really I kind of rely upon. Well, probably Fizz actually. Fizz is a thing which you can kind of do anywhere. And it kind of gets you away.
I'll be specific on this then.
Okay.
What about you did the Talisker Whiskey Challenge, right?
Not the Talisker Challenge. No, we did a what's the word? A row across the Atlantic that was with a skipper. So it was a private charter. That's the word.
How long was that?
3 months.
Holy shit!
I know that was
How
halfway to
far?
shit. Portugal to French Guiana in South
Okay,
America.
so when that was super tough, the toughest times there, and you were struggling to stay motivated.
Yeah.
What there? How did you keep going? What mentally kept you going?
I think probably like setting it sound. I'm gonna let these words out, even though they sound really cheesy, really Chad. Is kind of setting an example for other people, And I realise that's one of those kind of throwaway comments where you're like, you want to be a good example for others. For me, it was going out there and doing something big outside of the military. So you've obviously done time in the military. You can still do big expeditions, big things. You can still fit them into like a professional life. Ferdy's 3 months rowing across the Atlantic doesn't fit into your holiday entitlement every year, but you can take a sabbatical and do big things. So I guess you can still feel relevant. You can still feel like you're able to kind of inspire other people. I
don't think that's I don't.
What is how cheesy that sounds?
No, it's no. I think we drastically underestimate these days the importance of positive role models, positive role models, or leading by doing.
Yeah.
Of even just demonstrating doing the right thing. Being how to be a positive contribution to society.
Yeah.
Be that the person who, be that the person in an underground tube station who you see someone, or you see like, I don't know, where was I the other day? It was in Liverpool. It was in Liverpool Street, Elizabeth Line.
Yeah.
And it was packed. People coming off the tube, walking through. It was really busy. About 20 yards ahead of me, not even that, must have been 10 yards ahead of me. There's a young lad, and it was a glass bottle of something. Of whatever the drink was.
Yeah.
And he finished it, and he put it down, mate, in the middle of the walkway. In the middle of the walk, and it's busy. Just put it down, right? There's no bins down there, but you keep it in your hand. You got it's mental, and they put it down in the middle. Mental, no shame whatsoever. Everyone's around him, right? And I saw it, and there was a guy about 5 yards in front of me. He was right behind him. Looked round and picked it up. Picked it up off the floor.
Yeah.
And just carried on to take it up to the bin. Now he didn't go to the guy and go, "You're a fucking bellend." Didn't want confrontation or whatever, but he bent down, he picked it up, and I thought, that is mega.
Yeah.
Because I saw him do that. Other people saw him do that. And what that means is other people who would probably walk around that bottle, they would just leave it, go on, not my problem, and carry on. The next time round, they're likely to do the right thing and pick that up.
Yeah.
Or go a stage further and go and strangle the fucker. But do you know what I mean? So I think the importance of being a positive role, it's really underestimated.
Yeah.
Because once you understand as well that how important it is, it leads you to behave better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So that is not what you're saying there. It's not a what did you say? Like a fluffy, airy, fairy thing.
I know.
You people see you going putting yourself out of your comfort zone, or people see you being unexpectedly put out of your comfort zone, and how you deal with that and overcome adversity.
Yeah.
And they go, and when they have hard times, they'll be able to go through it better. Or if they are looking for the next thing, they'll go, I'm going to do something really tough. Because Chris Shirley did it, and he's not a bellend.
yeah, exactly. I mean, just for context, it was for Team Rubicon UK, now React. So it was a charity fundraiser for the charity, but a personal endeavour as well.
Last question before we have got a bunch more here. We haven't got time for them in the icebreaker. We'll do them at the end of the main podcast, the ones we haven't covered. But okay, question 4. Oh, hang on. Do you know what? I might leave this to the podcast. Actually, we're going to cover this in the podcast. It's about your accident.
Yeah.
All right. Question 5 then from David. From Royal Marines officer to BBC Risk Advisor. What helped you mentally manage the shift from a high-intensity military life into civilian work?
Can you repeat the question again, just one more time, just so I've got...
What helped you mentally manage the shift from high-intensity military work, Royal Marines and Police, into the civilian world? The transition.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, no. Again, kind of like fizz, like just doing the things which are the staple of your everyday days in the military. So that was like, your caveman fizz, I call it. I mean, my transition to the BBC was it was interesting because I ended up doing the first world record whilst at the BBC and training for the heavy marathon, which was like so going out on a weekend, carrying a 45 kilo backpack, Bergen to go and get the conditioning in and kind of help me develop the leg strength, and then walking into BBC new broadcasting house on a Monday morning, literally staggering, people looking at me weirdly going, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, I just carried a 45 kilo Bergen around I think Guildford for 10 miles, and they look at me like, "Why?" I'm like, because so it's almost like that, doing keeping elements of your old lifestyle, but then when you're going to Civvy Street into a new role, is that the change isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to be a gradual thing. So you retain some of those things. Obviously, probably some of the the core stuff should stay in the core. The banter and stuff, those conversations, but then good things like fitness, focus on personal development should come with you into your new role as well. So yeah,
excellent.
Fizz.
We've got one last comment stroke question. I think this is a jokey one. Do you like Wallace and Gromit? I think he sees a likeness here. Let's have some Coke.
And Wallace.
I think he's seen a likeness here. I'm looking at the screen. I'm looking at you and thinking, is there some kind of Wallace likeness?
I get I mean, not bold. Maybe Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh no, I say Jake Gyllenhaal. He's a guy in American Pie.
Oh yeah.
Who's the kid? Not Stifler, the other one. The geeky one. That's what I get from time to time. But yeah, not Wallace is a new one.
Right, let's pause and get ready for the podcast proper.
Nice.
If you were listening to this in your podcast app, this is going to roll straight into the next episode, which is episode 274 with Chris, full podcast. Become a patron of the podcast. It supports me. And it supports the podcast, and it makes me happy. Make you happy. Pay for me.
Hashtag make you happy.
Oh, my OnlyFans. It's like a revenue stream, isn't it? It's a revenue stream. It could be like specials. Me and a naked guest. Yeah.
You never said this in the brief.
Right, pausing there. Jesus Christ.